Manny Pacquiao has just blown boxing fans away with the most recent training footage he dropped on his YouTube channel. The speed, strength, and athleticism of the boxing legend is unbelievable for a 46-year-old, and his comment section was filled with fans that picked him as the favorite on fight night, despite the age difference.
Boxing fans were completely blown away by Manny Pacquiao's most recent training video, which he posted on YouTube. Even though he is 46 years old, the boxing legend's strength, speed, and athleticism are unfathomable, and his comment section was crowded with supporters who chose him as the fight night favorite, despite their age difference.
So you don't lose that. Awesome. Fire.
Pacquiao began the film by going over his footwork patterns, and then he and Roach trained for MIT hitting. At the end, the accomplished fighter coach team could be shown strategizing situational counterpunching techniques anytime Pacquiao was pinned in the ropes during one of his prior bouts. When he fought, Barrios's head movement and patience much improved, and he adopted a far better strategy than he had previously. Gervonta Davis began as a brawler 4 years ago, putting pressure on the opposition and pressing the action. However, he developed into a superb counterpuncher, which increased his effectiveness as a multifaceted boxer.
Manny, I think Rolly has the WBO 147 title. He says you're his legacy fight. What? Rolando, he says you're his legacy fight.
You can't teach speed, you can't teach power. It's God, from God, that's it. People can work on.
Roach and his team must now create the ideal strategy to defeat the younger and larger Barrios Pacquiao, who has faced and beaten more physically powerful boxers like Antonio Margarita Miguel Cotto on multiple occasions, Joel Klatt, and Ricky Hatton. According to a report by The Ring, Pacquiao went to the neighborhood park in the Fairfax district to perform light aerobic exercises as part of his regular training regimen in the United States. Before facing Barrios on July 19, 2025, in Lassie, Vegas, Nevada, the 46-year-old superstar will have just 2 months to get ready.
Welcome back to Los Angeles, Manny.
Boss,
We miss you.
you're looking in tremendous shape. You're ready to fight Barrios tonight and make history, Manny.
Manny, you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, man.
Following his defeat in the senatorial contest, Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao and coach Freddie Roach began their preparations for his rematch against American champion Mario Barrios at the Wildcard Gym in Los Angeles. Manny Pacquiao started his training camp at the Wildcard Gym in Los Angeles, USA, and shifted his attention to his impending big fight against Mario Barrios. When Pacquiao posted his workout video at the Wildcard Gym to his official YouTube account, The Sports Only, 8-division world champion was surrounded by well-known people and included a reunion with his longtime instructor, Freddie Roach.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
Midway through the video clip that was uploaded, Mike Pacquiao, the former World Boxing Council featherweight champion, was also spotted taking notes on Pacquiao's training regimen. On Wednesday, he shared pictures of himself and Pacquiao working together on Instagram. Additionally, on his first day back, his son Jimwell, who is currently based in the U.S. to pursue his dreams of becoming a professional boxer, arrived with Pacquiao and MP Promotions president Sean Gibbons, along with Pacquiao. When Pacquiao made his final appearance, the two last collaborated. After losing by majority decision to Cuban Yordenis Ugas in a professional fight in August 2021, Pacquiao, 46, and Roach, 65, started light work training, which included shadow boxing, punching bag work, and mint sessions. He achieved a win-loss-draw card with 39 knockouts on August 2, 2021. The world's only 8-division champions, Pacquiao came out of retirement to challenge Barrios for the World Boxing Council welterweight title. Seeing as he is 46 and facing a 16-year-old Barrios, the 30-year-old Barrios holds a February. When asked about the situation when he arrived at the Los Angeles International Airport on Monday, the boxing community whispered the name Manny Pacquiao with a mixture of wonder and curiosity. The Filipino legend's career is embellished with countless victories, belts from 8 different weight classes, and a unique blend of speed, skill, and unwavering courage. First 29 win-loss-draw slate with 18 knockouts despite the significant age gap, and fighting a boxer who's at the peak of his prime. Pacquiao is not worried at all. "Don't worry about it," he said in a brief and humorous response. However, as Pacquiao's fight with Mario Barrios on 19th July in Las Vegas draws nearer, one question remains above the excitement. Mikey Garcia, a fellow boxing veteran, is asking Pac-Man to return to the ring at the age of 46 after a 4-year hiatus. Pac-Man's upcoming fight against the World Boxing Council welterweight champion has generated excitement and intrigue within the boxing community, particularly given Manny Pacquiao's reputation as a respected individual who defies age and inactivity. Common Sense Mikey Garcia praised the great southpaw in an interview with Easy News prior to the eagerly awaited bout, but he also openly questioned the challenges the renowned boxer currently faced.
Manny Pacquiao, Coach, how you doing? Boo Boy said thank you for all the kind words you said about Manny. He says he watches the videos and he appreciates it.
Well, who else wouldn't say, what else is there to say about Manny, you know?
He's a legend.
Like a living legend. You know, and like I said, just gotta tip your hat off to him, man.
What do you think, him and Barrios? We're getting closer and closer.
I've seen the videos, training hard.
Look, I've been around.
The 4-division world champion said to Eli Sekbach, "What else is there to say about Manny Pacquiao? You know he's a legend like a living legend." In an enthusiastic response, the interviewer pressed Garcia's ideas further. "What do you think? About him and Barrios, it's getting closer and closer." Robert Garcia's younger brother, a seasoned trainer, was quick to highlight Pacquiao's work ethics.
People think it just said 10-second clips at Mike Tyson. No, he's really light. He ran an hour and 10 minutes, then he shadowboxed 20 minutes.
I believe he's a hard worker. He always works very hard. I remember seeing them train.
You sparred him.
He was training super hard, so I know he has the work ethic and everything. I just gotta question a little bit, because of the age and everything that he's been out of the ring for so long. So that's the only thing that you got to question. But I mean, if he can pull this out, fuck.
I've seen the videos showing him training hard, and the interviewer confirmed that the 8-division world champion has been training non-stop. He pointed out that some fans mistakenly believe that Pacquiao's preparation is similar to Brief Social, media clips of Mike Tyson prior to his contentious fight with Jake Paul last year. Sekbot explained. People think it's just like those 10-second video clips of Mike Tyson, but he ran for an hour and 10 minutes, then shadowboxed for 20 minutes. Mike Garcia, who had first-hand knowledge of Pacquiao's regimen, acknowledged the intensity of his regimen, saying, "I've seen the hard work and I've seen him train. I know he has the work ethic and everything since he is training really hard." Nevertheless, in spite of his adoration, the retired boxer raised an important concern, a legitimate and poignant query that reverberates throughout boxing history whenever greats try to make a comeback after long breaks.
He will pull it off. I told him this morning and the noon.
Just like Foreman, and that, Hopkins.
Yeah.
He already is a legend as it is. This is just a cherry on top.
What's up, Peter? Hey, Mikey said Manny, if he beats Barrios, is the best ever. Big G, what do you think? Big G. Big G, what do you think about
Garcia said, "My only questions are about his age, like he's been out of the ring for so long. That's the only thing you have to question. But if he can pull this off, then damn, just like Foreman, like Hopkins, he's already a legend as it. Is it would just be the cherry on top," Mikey Garcia said, relating the possible spectacle of a victorious Manny Pacquiao comeback to historic victories by George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. In fact, Pacquiao's comeback is more than just a bout. It's a chance to solidify his legacy or pose more profound queries.
Okay.
Porque es una historia con él.
History. It's a history, with him.
Puedo igualar la historia.
No, whoever be able to his history, his story, boxing, his story.
Two names always stand out when boxing historians tell remarkable comebacks: George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. Their tales serve as timeless standards for boxers hoping to become famous in the latter stages of their careers. After retiring from boxing in 1977, George Foreman shocked the sports world by returning to the ring 10 years later. At the unlikely age of 38, Foreman made a comeback in 1987. What started out as a show grew into a serious fight for the heavyweight title, and in 1994, he defeated Michael Moore via knockout at 45 to become the oldest heavyweight champion in history, solidifying his reputation. Likewise motivating. By continuing to compete well into his late 40s, Bernard Hopkins defied expectations and redefined his career. At 46, he defeated Jean Pascal to win the World Boxing Council light heavyweight title in May 2011, shattering Foreman's record as the oldest boxing champion. 2 years later, he broke his own record by defeating Tavoris Cloud to win the International Boxing Federation light heavyweight title at 48 years old. He became the oldest boxer in history to win a world title with this victory, and a year later, at the age of 49, he added to it by defeating Babut Shumanov to become the oldest fighter to unify world titles. The matchup has sparked interest and concerns among the boxing community, with the most vocal being Jesse Bam Rodriguez, the undefeated World Boxing Organization flyweight title holder, who didn't hold back in a recent interview with Hand Rap TV. Many are excited about his return, proving he is a true legend, but Manny will get hurt. He should have just stayed retired, Rodriguez said. Rodriguez has a strong resume and recent victories over notable opponents, making him a real threat to an aging Pacquiao.
Mura ginawat naman mo ba? Mura ginawat ako. Side step ba?
He went on to add, he shouldn't be fighting anymore at 46 or 47 going up against someone like Barrios. He's just going to get beaten badly. While Pacquiao's achievements are undeniable, Rodriguez's remarks reflect a sentiment shared by many in the sport. Boxing is a young man's game, and while his aggressive style and athleticism make him an unsuitable opponent at the wrong time, his recent performances demonstrate a fighter developing his confidence and honing his skills. Exactly the kind of challenge that could reveal a veteran's diminished reflexes.
Fight, which to me is a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
Or that, Pacquiao has been in the ring for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's coming back, facing Mario Barrios. I mean, have you talked to him? Were you shocked as well with that, that fight announcement happened?
He did mention it to me a while back, but it was kind of in the works still. I didn't really believe it at the moment. I don't think he did either, but now it's almost official, so I think it'd be pretty cool just to see,
Oscar De La Hoya Pacquiao, who last fought in 2021 and lost to Yordenis Ugas, has mostly kept quiet about the criticisms, but the significance of this comeback goes beyond just the physical. It's symbolic. A triumphant return could cement his already legendary status, while a heartbreaking loss could ruin the last chapter of a legendary career. One person who knows both sides of the argument is Pacquiao's former opponent and current promoter.
It's right for Manny to come back and fight.
I mean, if he feels like he has it in him, then why not?
What is your prediction for that fight? Even people saying that at his age, training camp is different. Watching him, do all that is obviously different being in the ring. But how would you break that fight down for us? Obviously, Mario has a height. He has the length.
I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but
Speaking at a Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation charity event, De La Hoya expressed both admiration and caution. I wish him all the best. Can he do it? Yes. I think he can do it. Manny Pacquiao is a legend. It won't be easy, but I think he can do it. De La Hoya stated that he is among those asking the boxing world to recognize both the ambition and the danger, since he has personal experience of what it's like to confront Pacquiao. Their 2008 fight, known as the Dream Match, ended with De La Hoya retiring on a stool.
I guess Mario has to show him that, he has a youth, and, Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. That's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back.
Although Pacquiao and Barrios' possible fight has not yet been formally confirmed, all indications point to a huge July night, with rumors circulating about potential Netflix streaming partnerships and an increasing effort for boxing to attract a wider audience. On his podcast, The Fight with Teddy, the stakes are higher than ever. Given his age and the way he appeared in his most recent encounter against Yordenis Ugas in 2021 and his exhibition bout against Rukia Ampo in 2024, Atlas expressed his concerns about Pacquiao.
That just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao is going to be pretty cool. And it's the same night. So it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Lastly, July, we're also September, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't want to stop anyone from earning a living or money, but I'm really worried about a man who is a great man, has helped his people, fought for them, lifted them up, and has given money to them. After 72 fights, Pacquiao, 46, looked his age, in a unanimous decision loss to Ugas, who replaced former unified welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. after he withdrew from the fight due to an eye injury sustained during training. The former 8-division champion also struggled mightily in his exhibition bout against Ampo. In 2023, kickboxer Barrio defeated Ugos twice before claiming the WBC interim welterweight title by unanimous decision.
Favorite people, one of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from like whatever, incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible, just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active.
Before being promoted to the full title after Terence Crawford relinquished the title, after Barrios moved up to 154 pounds in his lone defense of the World Boxing Council welterweight title, Barrios defended the interim title once, defeating Fabian Maidana on May 4, 2024. On November 15th, Barrios fought to a draw with Abel Ramos on the undercard of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul Keith. The other frequent opponent of Pacquiao and Barrios is Thurman. On July 20th, 2019, Pacquiao won the Super WBA welterweight title by defeating Thurman by split decision. But on February 5th, 2022, Thurman defeated Barrios by a lopsided unanimous decision. Atlas attested to Pacquiao's victory. Feels that meeting. Barrios is his best chance to become the second oldest boxing champion in history, and that his career accomplishments allow him to immediately return to a world title shot.
By that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right, he beat Ugos. You could say Ugos was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugos fight. I thought that Pacquiao, for his age...
Even yet, the Hall of Fame trainer thinks Pacquiao has a long road ahead of him because of his advanced age, the damage he's collected, and the length of time since his last official fight. "I just think you're playing with fire," he says. There comes a point with everything where, no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You can't fool yourself, Atlas said. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights. That's all I think you could move around and navigate a little bit. Among the many amazing comeback stories in boxing's history, George Foreman's brief 10-year hiatus is arguably the most remarkable. Manny Pacquiao, who will return to the ring at 46, has obviously found resonance in the story of fighting till the age of 48 after turning 28.
So we can't feel sorry for him, but at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, you know, I'm just 4 years older, 4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were, and, you know, when
Making Pacquiao's weight class and his lengthy layoff have made things a little more challenging. His foreman was a heavyweight, and boxers in that weight class tend to age more shamefully. That's all for now. For the best news, events, and happenings in the boxing world, stay in touch with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to enable notifications so you can be informed when we post high-quality content like this. Until the next time, peace.